Well, you got these dragon hunts where you take a lot of damage over time. Let's hit this button, that stops the damage over time, and we can safely heal with our health potion. Again, you can see those damage over times on the top there. You can see 10, 7 seconds, 6 seconds. We hit this button and we no longer have any of those effects except now since he just hit us again. This could definitely save your life in a dragon hunt. You're going into one of these areas by accident, you get pushed in, and they give you quite a heavy damage over time. With this you can just cleanse it, gone, and then you could heal up, or your healer could heal you up if need be, rather than just bleeding out from all those dot effects. Now, what do I use for this cleanse? Well, very simply, this barbecued meat. So let's go over how useful is it really, and whether or not you should be putting in the grind to get it. You only have a few days left, so if you want to get this food, potentially sell it to endgamers or use it yourself, you could make a pretty tidy profit there, if it's actually useful. There is a little bit of a bug with it, but we'll go over that a little bit later. So firstly, I'd like to give a massive thank you to all of these channel members for the added support. Now this food, this barbecued meat, you can see on its tooltip claims that it will remove you from any harmful damaging effects, which we could see is exactly happening within this dragon fight. Loads of the dragons have all of those damage dots that will be continually applied to you, and in a clutch moment they could kill you. Additionally, it does state it can heal you up to 375,000, which is a bit more than your traditional heal pot. On a DPS character with this scaled dragon hunts, you have around 600k HP. I'm a tank, so I got a bit more, and so normal healing potions can be sufficient, but they only give 300k, and the barbecued meat actually gives up to 375k. The problem is, unfortunately, this barbecued meat, as I have reported it, doesn't actually heal you for anything. Now, when they do go and fix it, that could make it way better. And I'll go into why. It's like having a second stone of health or backup potion, or when you need it, on a much lower cooldown to boot. Again, I'll showcase that a little bit later. But where do you get this meat? Well, right now we have the Lliira event, and pretty much I believe the only place you can get this meat is from this event. So you only have about 2 days left to do some grinding and buy this meat just here. You can get it off the auction house, and you can sell this stuff as well. It does cost you 15 favor just for one piece, so this ain't cheap. The thing is, it's pretty special in the fact that when we jump into our fight, and let's take some damage from the dragon here, we get pushed back, and we can use our stone of health to heal. You can see it doesn't lock out this food. I can use this food now to stop the damage over time, and if it was working to heal you, it would heal you additionally. You can see now it's locked out. It's got its own timer. It's separate from the stone of health. We're gonna die here now, maybe. We clutch, yeah, and there we go. That was a clutch from the barbecued meat. We could have used our stone of health because that was off cooldown too. But you can see cooldown of the stone of health is a full 18 seconds. We're totally dead here. And the meat is only 12 seconds. We can jump into an area here, take a damage over time effect, use the barbecued meat, and you can see then it's on 11-second cooldown, and it doesn't lock out your stone of health, which we're gonna use now, but too late. He bites us and kills us. So that would mean you have essentially 2 ways you could heal yourself. Again, if this got fixed, and hopefully it does. Now you may have noticed something strange there. I'm actually using it from my inventory without actually opening my inventory and using it. Well, unfortunately, those of you on consoles won't be able to use this trick, but on PC you can use a very simple bind to use items from your inventory. You can see we have 47 caprice. I hit this button and you can see now we have 46, and you can see we gain the buff there. Now the barbecued meat, it's not exactly listed as event food, so it won't actually replace our caprice. You might be worried about that, especially as a DPS, that you would, let's say, remove the effect of your watermelon or your squash soup. Well, it doesn't do that. We go and hit that button for the barbecued meat. You can see it's now on cooldown, and we can check our buffs. We still have our caprice. No way affects that event food. And we can use these other potions as well by pressing these buttons. this one here and this one here, and that'll just use those. But the thing is, you need to keep in mind that these potions here, or if you're using the Superior Flask of Potency, will put your Stone of Health on cooldown. So for example, we have this potion here and I have it on my number 8 there. And if we jump into combat, you can see my Stone of Health has 23 charges, and we're in combat. We press 8 and you can see it puts my Stone of Health on cooldown without healing me because I used the potion. So beware of that. Those of you in endgame would already know that whenever you're using your Superior Flask of Potencies after you died, then you would essentially be locking out your Stone of Health. And we're really low HP here. We kind of want to use that Stone of Health, so there we go. We get some, let's say, damage over time effects. Ouch, 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 ouch. And we use this to cleanse us, but okay, he bit us, never mind. But you see what I mean? We can use our shield. We have immunities. We're getting tons of damage over time. Use this. It cleanses a bunch of those dots, and now we stop taking damage over time. Now, of course, instead of this food, which is to reset this here, you could run with a healer who's running cleanse. But the only real practical healer to run with a cleanse is, in my opinion, the bard. The rest of them don't have great cleanses, and they don't really want to sacrifice their heals for cleansing. Now, this can definitely be useful in all areas of the game. There are many effects which cleanses can remove, and so having a stack of this barbecued meat could be very helpful, especially as a tank, but as a DPS it can even come in clutch, especially if they fix it being able to heal. It's like a secondary thing that can heal you. Being able to use it from your inventory on PC is also pretty neat. Now, what binds do I use to use this food from my inventory without having to then go open it and right click and use, or even just double click it? Well, it's these ones just right here. You can see you're going to have to enter this bind into your chat. Keep in mind, you can change that, say this 5 to any other button on your keyboard. I personally have it on 5 because then it's adjacent to my Stone of Health, on my keyboard at least, and thus I can use it. I generally have a Wondrous Dragon here or some other passive buff, so generally don't need to use that 5 button. You can bind it to an additional button over to your 7, 8, 9, and 10 if you're not using those buttons as well. I put T on mount and I put V on auto walk. That's personally what I like to go with instead. But again, it's very limited time before you can get this meat, before it's going to be over and no longer available. Personally, I am putting in a bit of a grind to make sure to get some of these fireworks to be able to get this meat. Right now, it doesn't appear anybody is selling this on the auction house at all. And that's rather puzzling to me, but I guess people just feel it's not useful. But it's really underrated. Having the ability to have another additional heal potion on a 12-second cooldown instead of the traditional 18, that's pretty massive. However, it's bugged, and they need to actually fix for it to be able to heal. Otherwise, they may very well go and chuck it on the same cooldown as your Stone of Health and potions. That would make much sense. But if they don't, it's even better to run with this. And using it from your inventory is also pretty handy, freeing up a slot. Imagine you're a wizard. You don't want to run with a heal potion because you want to go with 3 of those Alliance battle horns for all that action point gain. Yeah, you can still run with a heal potion from your inventory with barbecued meat. Yeah, pretty handy. Again, they're going to have to fix that. So overall, just wanted to let you guys know what I figured out. I didn't realize this could be done, but there you have it. Again, I'd like to give a special thank you to all of these channel members for helping me keep my channel going. If I presented this well, consider leaving the video a like, and if you're new around here, consider subscribing. We'll see you guys around. Goodbye for now.